Hi there. There is a golden ticket available in both business and in relationships when you become immune to rejection. My name is Kamil, I'm a professional coach, and by the end of this video, the possibility will be created for you to become immune to rejection, for it to no longer even be something that will occur to you. So stay with me throughout, and this is what can be opened up. I've seen it amongst so many people, so many business owners, where there's a holding back, right? There's a level of being inhibited due to this fear of being rejected, and that could be in their business, it could be in their personal life, right? The same stories apply. In this video, I'll be sharing two different areas, distinctions that are going to apply to this and why it happens this way. So the first thing is, when it comes to rejection, there's a difference between having circumstances and having an experience, and there's something in between this. So let's say something happens, an event that looks like someone rejected you. Perhaps it was a new client, perhaps it was a potential love interest, and something happens where it feels like, oh, now I've been rejected and this is a bad thing. Now, an event happens, right? This event is person says thing to you, or person sends you this message. Now, the experience that I've now been rejected is something entirely different, right? So there's the event, which is the person says this thing, and then there's the experience that has happened. Now, most people confuse the experience with the event, but they're not the same thing, because in the center, this is what we call interpretation. Interpretation is the sole creator. It's completely responsible for everything that we experience. And we only ever live in interpretation, right? We don't live in the event. It's not possible, because the event is complete objective neutrality. And the way that our minds work is that they create interpretations, labels, and put it onto things. So let's say that this person has said something, and now the experience we're having is that we've been rejected. But that's not what's happened. What's happened is the interpretation was created in this moment onto that event. That interpretation being, oh no, this person rejected me, and now it might mean that I'm not enough. It might mean that this is never going to work. It might mean that everyone else is going to reject me again. It means that, oh, they think I'm a bad person, or this is how people see me. This is what I think about myself. Do you see how much has just been created in that one moment? It's a lot to process if that's what's happening in a moment. So naturally, it's going to make sense that we're going to fear doing these things, putting ourselves out there, playing full out, because of all of this interpretation that can come up. So what do we do about it? The point of this is seeing that circumstances and events are neutral. We only live in experience, but the creator of that experience is interpretation. And we are the creators of that. So this is about seeing that when something like this happens, noticing, what am I interpreting? What label am I placing on this? What meaning am I giving it? Because I'm the one giving it that meaning. In essence, the rejection itself is neutral. It has no meaning, it has no label, it has no interpretation, apart from the one I'm painting it with through my own subjective lens. And this is why it's important in that moment to notice, what interpretation am I giving this thing? Because that is within my agency. That is within my own awareness to look at, what interpretation do I want to give this? For example, let's say something happens and the interpretation that was given to it is, okay, it wasn't going to be the right fit, or great, that person wasn't the right one for me, I can now move on to the next. That's not going to come as much weight as, oh no, I'm not enough, or this means no one's going to love me, or this means that no one's going to work with me. That's all made up. It's all made up. So the first part of this is actually starting to bring the awareness and catching ourselves to see that I'm the one creating this interpretation, and it doesn't need to have that meaning. What meaning do I want to give it? What interpretation do I want to give it? Because the one I'm giving it right now is completely made up. Here's the first part of this. The second part of this is starting to see that rejection isn't actually real. And it ties into what I just talked about. But this is going to take it a bit deeper. If everything is neutral, if circumstances are neutral, if events are neutral, then this complete idea that we have of what rejection actually is, or what it means to be rejected, or fearing this thing called rejection, rejection's an entire label. Rejection's an entire interpretation. I am only rejected if I create it as that. So even if, let's say I ask someone out on a date, or let's say I make a proposal to a potential client and they say no, I'm only rejected if I turn it into I've now been rejected, right? Through that interpretation and through that label. In essence, we're fearing something that we are creating. So when people say overcome your fear of rejection, and it's because you fear it that it's a bad thing. Yes, that can be useful to look at it like that, but we're fearing something that we're making up completely, because there is no rejection until we decide that we've been rejected. Now, this is what is opening the door to being rejection immune. Because if I'm starting to live in the mindset and the paradigm and the understanding that there is no such thing as rejection, it's just things that happen. Right? There's no such thing as rejection, it's just things that happen. Now, if I'm seeing that, it's not going to make any sense for me to hold back from sending that message, or making that bold request, doing that thing, because I'm realizing, oh, we live in a world where rejection doesn't actually exist until I create it as existing. And this is where everything changes. Because being immune to rejection means seeing that it was never real in the first place. And this is what it's really about. So I hope you found value in this video, and based on what you've been hearing in it, I would love to hear your thoughts, your reflections, anything that you saw in it, or how you might even apply this right now. You know what would be really cool? To hear about one thing that you're going to act on from this video. Perhaps a message you're going to send, perhaps a proposal that you're going to make to someone. Just have a think about how you could use this video, this understanding, and make it tangible, because that's where the real transformation happens. And if you'd like to take some of your insights from this a bit deeper, or dive a bit deeper into understanding rejection even more, then there's a link in the comments to book in some time to connect with me one-to-one, and I'd love to have a conversation with you. Much love. See you on the next one.